In the air to right, and he did it again!
Welcome back to the Lefties 2 broadcast. Week 113 is here, and we got some groups for you. And this week is 3 legitimate groups of death, 1, 2, and 3 by my ranking, I guess. And of course, we have a start bench cut, as you can see from the thumbnail. 3 infielders, kind of all, well, they're not kind of, they're all epics. So, got to figure out who to use and when and why, right? So let's go into the groups. First group of the day, we have Cobra Kai, moderated names, and from Taiwan, it looks like it's Jingding Amusement Park. Could be completely wrong. Japan, it's Champagne and something else. I can't really tell. Either way, we got the group of death 3 here. And it kind of, how I explain group of death is that are the teams, majority of the teams in 6,000 or typically back and forth. And this group for sure is, they're just different tier when it comes to scoring, right? Baseball Bros last week was, I think, ranked 4th place overall. Blue Jays at 6,000 currently. A Country for Hardworking People Enjoy at 6,000. Korea at 6,000. And the All-Stars are, again, a team that kind of go back and forth here. Now, the thing about this group is that more than likely, only 2 teams are moving up. So 3 teams are moving back. Which ones are going to be? Anybody's guessing this one. All right, next we have the Misfits on deck. Japan Meister. Players only. True Blue. Cast. Oh, it's Cast Iron. Okay, I'm getting old. All right, Silver Level 2. All right, group of death number 2. And the reason why these are number 2 is that the scores are higher. These teams right here are your like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th highest scoring teams of the week. Padres currently ranked 3rd overall, followed by Taiwan, Korea, and Taiwan Representative Club 1, and Snow Poetry and Cat. So 3 Taiwanese teams, Korean team, and kind of international, but more or less American at 3rd place. All right, Mandalorians, again, 5th place overall as the rankings go, but look at the competition, right? Mandalorians, no time soon, are going to be in a group of death. You got to get at least 150 around that range to get into the group of death. All right, Yankees, Legends, Thin Blue Line, and Righties. This is a good opportunity for Righties because, again, Mandalorians are probably going to score around 125 max. So this right now is probably a Legends getting 1st or 2nd here. Righties have gotten a little too high typically for them, so this is a week they probably move back. Thin Blue Line have a good chance, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so Tough and Tender in the top right there's 3rd level group, Gold 1, Venezuela, JJ, Beast Mode, and the team from Japan. Next, we have Sato moving along now in the top 400 at 384. They got the 2 Canadian teams that kind of stick together. Canadian Crushers, the Canadians, Eagles hitting 420. Goal level 3, the competition starts to get a little bit more tough here. So Sato needs to kind of look out, and hopefully they can get together some wins. All right, American Sluggers have had a couple weeks in a row where they're not doing great. Full Send, LLC, Rockets 883 on the Verge, Metropolitan and Hounds. This is an interesting group because I just don't know who's going to win. It could be the American Sluggers. They're rebounding. Rockets 883 really need a 2nd place here, 1st place. But this one's a crapshoot. Any betting odds here, not sure. But I'm going to go with the American Sluggers get 1st place. All right, so Baseball Canada, Formosa win, Venezuela. That looks like the strongest baseball team, and Hanwha. Hanwha is currently ranked 4th, and again, another club as the Mandalorians going against lower scoring teams. But hey, what a strategy it is to kind of stay at the top if they actually can get it done. But Formosa Win has been moving up the ranks quite a bit, and Baseball Canada is just trying to hold on here, trying to figure it out. They're in a merger or some kind of deal going on in their group. Look out for that. All right, Misfits, they're moving up in the ranks here. They're probably about 3 months away of wins. Maybe, let me see, 4,700. So let's say they get 1st place, and maybe like a month and a half, they can be in the top 100 here. Braves, Rays up, base loaded, Venezuela VZ. Okay, Aftermath OG, you can see we got a ranking from them, 132. Solid job. They're about 3 weeks away with first place to get in the top 100 for the first time. Untouchables, Big Dingers, Korea, and another Korean team named just Korea won, it looks like. There's another Korean team. Okay, Aftermath Uprise, Sharks Fin Soup. That's controversial, right? Self to Barrels, Evil Doers, and Toronto Hitters. And again, another club of Aftermath. They're about, I would say, probably 3 months away, maybe 10 weeks if they can kind of, maybe a little less than that. They can get some first, second place here. They're maybe about 6, 7 weeks, I would say. So they can have another club in that top 100 to keep it moving. All right, Aftermath New Day, goal level 5. So this is their third club that they have a chance to kind of move up. 8-3, 8-6, probably the favorites in this one. Bama, MLB squad, and it's like Gianki group or something like that. Not quite sure. Okay, Start Swinging Legends, Wild Things, Red Shear, U.S. Patriots. You can see the Start Swinging group here at 4486. Again, they're about 300 away, so that's about 3 weeks if they can get it done. First or second place 3 weeks. So Wild Things have been at the top 100 before, U.S. Patriots as well. All right, Keep Swinging, 11th, as you can see the competition here. That team number 39th right there, Namba out of Japan. They are actually a pretty decent club, but low scoring the last several weeks. So Keep Swinging is a team that can't typically get over 120, 115 even. So CPBL have a really good chance here. Spartans and Cooperstown too also have a really good chance. But this is a week where Namba probably gets it done at 39th. They're probably going to get the first place here. Keep Swinging needs to hold on and get second, but this is going to be a tough one for some of these clubs. All right, Redditors, Tough and Tender 2, Warriors, Padres Dugout, and another Big Korea. Okay, this one is going to be the 86th ranked Tough and Tender Friends or Family. I'm not sure which one it is, but they're the odds-on favorites here. Padres Dugout has, again, after their merger with Misfits, they've started to figure it out. So Redditors is a team that can get into that second place. Warriors, they're in the top 100 for one of the first times in their existence. So this is probably a week that they get fallout in Korea. Let's see where they're going to go. We don't really know yet. Okay. Let these two starters back-to-back weeks after being in the top 100, getting knocked out. And it's not looking great either because they got a couple teams here, Japan Samurai and the Australians. Those teams have been in the top 100. Big Sticks in Texas looking to get in there for the first time. A big week here from Let These Two Starters might get them close, but they're about 2 weeks away from the top 100 again. All right, Let These Two Chill. Got bumped out again. Interesting group because you see that moderated bunts at 6. They're a team that scores about 115. So if Let These Two Chill can get in that 130 range, that can probably get them second place, where the Blue Jays are a team that's typically at 6,000 as well. Iowa 2, and then Warts and Hemorrhoids. Warts and Hemorrhoids at 38 has been close. I think they got to 6,000 once. But Iowa 2 is probably not in the group they need to be in. But hey, play upset. All right, Group of Death, Let These Two. First and second place teams. Again, the Tough and Tender to second place has probably outscored Taiwan 3 weeks in a row. But, that's how it goes. Proa Negra got bumped out for the first time, I think, out of the Group of Death. They were ranked third last week, but they're right back up there because Masaba Full Swing finished third, but moved back in the rankings. Let These Two just, they won their group last week, 5th highest scoring team in the game, and they're probably going to be the 5th highest scoring team in the game, or 6th, 7th, whatever it is. They're usually top 10, but not in this group. They're not going to survive. This is a group that should all finish over 150. Just not fair, right? Okay, so those are the groups. Let's go ahead to the start bench cut. Okay, we got the start bench cut in the house. And we're going with 3 infielders, 3 epic infielders, as you can see. Let's go take a look at the profile for Willie real quick here. So, at level 13, already pretty solid, 215 contact. Power 171 at his natural status. Speed 184, not bad for the old man. Throwing 162, fielding 187. A good bonus on the fielding. Throwing a little weak. Even at level 14, we can take a look at it. Contact goes to 225. Power 179. Speed 192. Throwing 169. And then fielding goes into that 196. All right, so that's pretty solid there. Tyler, another offensive weapon here. Tyler contact, at 13, 193, 203 power, 174 speed, throwing 165, fielding 184. So similar to Willie, minus the contact and power, and a little less on the fielding. All right, Way, contact and speed are his ways to go, right? No pun intended. Power, throwing, and fielding all trash, right? So 162, 162, 162, and then add that 169. Contact goes to 232, power, speed 222. So we're looking at it, and again, let's look at the skills, right? So we take out the skills. We can look at all three of them here in their natural status at level 13. Contact, flat out, Way wins the contact, right? Power, natural, Tyler gets it, right? But Willie, his skill, whatever spin a pitcher has, so he's like a Wade killer, right? He's a J killer, right? He's going to get that extra power, which is a solid attribute. Speed, that goes to Way. Throwing goes to Tyler. All bad throwers, right? So we'll talk about where I recommend you place them if you do play them. And then fielding, 162, it would go to Willie on this one, edging Tyler, right, at 187. So the idea is this. Okay, so Tyler has the worst skill out of all of it. It's just a shiny little Rosa flare, as if he's golfing, like he thinks he's Tiger Woods or something, right? So if you're going to do a start bench cut just flat out on skills, Tyler's gone. His skill doesn't even add. It's just more aesthetically pleasing, apparently. Okay? Willie's solid. And then Way, I recommend Way even like at a low level to learn the strike zone, right? Get a good idea of the strike zone and learn manual batting with Way. So then you got to look at it like this, right? All around player, right? I recommend if you're going to play any of these three players, you're going to put them at second base because of their lack of throwing, right? They're all, let me double check. Right-handed thrower, right-handed thrower, right-handed thrower, right? So that's the idea. You're not going to typically put them at first base. Shortstop, you need a pretty good arm, right? Fielding, if you're really in a pinch, fielding is pretty solid with Willie, right? So that's a good fielding. And even Tyler, good fielding, just have bad throws. So second base is where I put all of them. Now you're really putting them in offensively, right? A leadoff hitter. There's so many other players in the game with high contact, high speed that have a little extra when it comes to throwing and fielding, right? Outfielders, with Neville's better speed, less contact, of course. A little more power. Alexander is an example that if you're going to use it. So in this case, we're going to cut Way. Even though I do like his contact, I just think his running's ability, okay? Now, the game is start, bench, cut. Who are we starting? Again, I want someone that is more reliable, right? So reliability at the plate, 215 contact is going to help. Speed is going to help as well. So, where I'm kind of leaning. Other batters in the game that you can have in the infield that have better power and contact. If you were going to really put Tyler in there and start him, you would probably want to match him up with Martin. Putting Martin potentially at that shortstop spot would be a kind of a good duo, I think, for the two of them. Two offensive, well-balanced players. So I'm going to bench Tyler here. And we're going to start the old man Willie just because of that solid fluctuation of potential power with some of the better pitchers with higher spin. So there it is. Willie starts, Tyler bench, Way cut. What do you guys think? Let me know what your options are here. And just like that, Thank you guys for watching another Lefties 2 broadcast. See you next time.